So the most important thing to braiding with yarn is your yarn. I buy 2 different yarns depending on kind of the time I have or what the tack shop has available. The yarn that I prefer is called Lucky Braids. It's made by a pro braider. I also have and use her shampoo, but I don't know if you can see Lucky Braids yarn. She makes chestnut, black, white, gray, and navy. And it's really smooth on my fingers, and it's really strong yarn. If I can't get Lucky Braids yarn, I prefer yarn by Red Heart. I get this from Walmart. It's $3. The Lucky Braids yarn at a tack shop will be about $10 a roll, and the roll is smaller than this. The Red Heart yarn comes in different sizes. And what you want to make sure you do, if you can't buy the Lucky Braids is sort of string tested, is if you go to the store and you have to buy Red Heart, is you string test it. And what I mean by string test is that you pull it to make sure, see, that's not good. You pull it to make sure it doesn't break. This yarn I've had sitting all winter. I haven't used it. I haven't braided a gray that's needed this. So it is kind of older and it has sat in the sun a little bit. If, for example, that does happen, shove it back in the shelf and pick out the next one and try it again. So the tools again that I use, clip. You can get this at Walmart, grocery store, nope, drugstore, hair store. I prefer these ones because they tend to hold the yarn or hold the mane really well compared to one of the rounder clips. Next is my pull through. Always have a spare because you never know, sometimes this little latch breaks, and if it breaks you can't pull the braid all the way through the mane because it catches on the lip at the end. Sharp little scissors. Little scissors are better to use because you can cut the yarn a little bit closer to the mane than big scissors, which I have behind me, and your seam ripper. I prefer the seam ripper over scissors when taking out the braids because if you use the ends of the scissors, sometimes that cuts the mane and you don't want to cut the mane. So there we go. You also want to make sure that your mane is show sheen free, shampoo free. I tend to not shampoo my manes probably 1 or 2 days before going to a horse show, just in case, because it will make it a little slippery. But if that's the case, you can buy something called Quick Braid, and all that does is add a little bit of stickiness to the hair, so it's easier to hold on to if it is slick. So, and a sponge. You need a sponge. I prefer water over Quick Braid because it's cheaper. And usually when I braid lots of horses, I just use their water bucket and carry my sponge. So I think that's it, Rosie. All done.